Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events shaping our world. I'm your host, Walter, and I'm glad you're joining us today. We've got a fascinating story to kick off our show, and it's all about the ongoing saga between the United States and Greenland. Recently, US Vice President J.D. Vance made a visit to Greenland, where he accused Denmark of not doing enough to keep the island safe. This statement has sparked a lot of debate and tension between the two countries. But what's really going on here? Is the US trying to exert its influence over Greenland, or is there more to the story? According to reports, Vance suggested that the US would be better equipped to protect Greenland from potential threats, citing the island's strategic location and natural resources. However, many Greenlanders and Danish officials have pushed back against this idea, stating that they don't want to be acquired by the US. In a surprising turn of events, President Donald Trump has even admitted that using military force to seize Greenland is not off the table. This statement has raised eyebrows around the world, with many questioning the implications of such a move. Former Danish Prime Minister Helle Thorning-Schmidt has weighed in on the issue, saying that there's nothing stopping the Americans from setting up more bases in Greenland. However, she also emphasized the importance of respecting Denmark's sovereignty and the will of the Greenlandic people. As we delve deeper into this story, it's clear that there are many complex factors at play. On one hand, the US may have legitimate security concerns and a desire to expand its influence in the region. On the other hand, Denmark and Greenland have their own interests and autonomy to consider. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that the situation is fraught with tension and uncertainty. As we navigate the intricacies of international diplomacy, one thing is certain: the fate of Greenland remains a topic of intense debate and speculation. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. I'm your host, Walter Tai. We're diving into a developing story that's unfolding in Southeast Asia, where a devastating earthquake has struck Myanmar, also known as Burma, and neighboring Thailand. The powerful quake has left a trail of destruction, with the death toll soaring past 1,000, many more injured or missing. As we go to press, rescue teams are racing against time to find survivors trapped under the rubble. The earthquake, which had a magnitude of 6.8, was centered near the city of Mandalay, Myanmar's second-largest city. The impact was felt as far away as Thailand, where an unfinished tower block collapsed in the capital city of Bangkok, killing dozens. The international community is rallying to support the affected regions, with several countries sending rescue teams and aid to help with the relief efforts. China, India, Malaysia, and other nations have pledged assistance, including emergency supplies, medical teams, and search and rescue personnel. It's worth noting that Myanmar is a country already grappling with a complex web of challenges, including a civil war and a military junta that seized power in 2021. The National Unity Government, which represents the ousted civilian administration, has announced a 2-week pause in offensive military operations in areas affected by the earthquake, except for defensive actions. As the situation continues to unfold, our thoughts are with the people of Myanmar and Thailand who have been affected by this disaster. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. The scale of the disaster is still emerging, but it's clear that the road to recovery will be long and challenging. With the monsoon season approaching, there are concerns about further displacement and flooding, which could exacerbate the humanitarian crisis. We'll continue to follow this story and provide you with updates as the situation develops. For now, our hearts go out to those who have lost loved ones, homes, and livelihoods in this devastating earthquake. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block, folks. We're wrapping up today's show with a thought-provoking discussion on some recent developments in the world of politics. As we've been following the news, it appears that former President Donald Trump has once again floated the idea of running for a third term, despite the fact that this would be in direct violation of the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution. Now, it's essential to note that the 22nd Amendment explicitly limits presidents to 2 terms, and any attempt to circumvent this amendment would require significant changes to the Constitution. However, Trump has seemingly suggested that there may be ways to achieve a third term, although he hasn't provided specific details on what these methods might entail. It's also worth mentioning that some public figures have expressed support for the idea of Trump serving a third term, including former advisor Steve Bannon and Republican Rep. Andy Ogles, who introduced a resolution proposing to amend the 22nd Amendment. Additionally, there are groups like the Third Term Project advocating for changes to the Constitution to allow Trump to run again in 2028. As we consider this development, it's crucial to approach the topic with a critical and nuanced perspective. On one hand, it's understandable that some individuals might want to see Trump continue in office, given his dedicated base of supporters. On the other hand, it's equally important to recognize the potential implications of undermining the Constitution and the principles of democratic governance. Ultimately, any attempts to modify the Constitution or disregard its provisions would require careful consideration, rigorous debate, and broad consensus among lawmakers and the American people. As we move forward, it will be essential to monitor these developments closely and engage in respectful, informed discussions about the potential consequences of such actions. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay informed.